Well, good Monday evening, everyone. Welcome to Bowling with the Fef. What a great way to start out the week, huh? It's our platform where you share your unique bowling story live on our YouTube channel, and it is growing each and every week. If you're interested in finding out more about the show or coming on as a guest, let me know. You can email me at bowlingwiththefef@yahoo.com or direct message me on Facebook. You can find me. My name is Andrew Fefer, and I would be happy to talk bowling or about the show with you. I think it's pretty exciting, and I'm really enthused about talking about it and talking with other bowlers all across the nation and beyond. It's really been a labor of love for me, and I'm always happy to tell more people about it, bring more people on board, because it really does take a village to get this thing going. It has been a very exciting week here at, I guess you could say, Bowling with the Fef headquarters. First of all, I don't know if you noticed this, but we had a video on our channel, this one right here, go over 1,300 views. And you can see this is my teammate and episode 33 guest, Jim Lucas, twirling around, striking, and, just kind of strutting back to the settee area. And that video has really, dare I say, become viral. It's gotten a lot of attention, a lot of views on YouTube as a YouTube short, which is great. And, really just thrilled to see that happen on the channel for a pre-recorded video, leaps and bounds over anything else I've uploaded on there. So I thought that was really cool, and hope you enjoyed it, got a chance to check it out, all that good stuff. So the other thing I'm excited about has a little something to do with Jim as well. Jim is an owner of a salsa company called Chip Magnet. As you get a little preview of tonight's guest there, Chip Magnet Salsa, which is based here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It's a family-run business, and Chip Magnet, also got our logo together, which you saw in that video and you've seen on our Facebook posts, and also is putting some support behind our show, which is awesome. We're going to have some tools that'll make the experience better for you, the viewer. Chip Magnet, if you haven't heard of it, like I said, a family business based right over there in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It distributes quality salsas, relishes, and other food products to more than 38 states and Canada. You can go to their website, chipmagnetsalsa.com, and take a look at their products. They've got salsas that are mild for those of you who can't stand the heat of a hotter salsa. They got medium salsas and hot salsa like Hades and Hot Mess if you're really into that kind of thing. But check it out. Chip Magnet Salsa, raise your snack standards, and we are so happy that they are supporting our show here. Again, we have a great guest coming on tonight, and there he is. His name is Mike Phillips, and he is also from Altoona, Wisconsin, just like I am. Mike, welcome to Bowling with the Fef.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah. So I got to ask you about that video, because you saw it being made, the one with Jim in it, the twirling, the whole deal. What were your thoughts when when he basically said he was going to do that, and then went up there, did it, only to have this video really explode on YouTube?
I didn't hear him say he was going to do it,
and
it was just sitting there. And was it you that videotaped it? Someone had the camera out. I'm like, why are they videotaping? Because then I saw that. My reaction is, oh my God, what a clown. But Jim's known for. Jim has fun.
Yeah,
and then it brings a lot of enjoyment to the team with some of the things he does when he strikes.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be a character. You got to keep it light out there. You, of course, as you said, are on our team, our Chip Magnet team in league here in Eau Claire.
Also right here.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You also bowl another night during the week, and the last couple times you've been out, you've really done well. High 690 into the 17s this last Thursday. What's been going on that's worked so well for you?
Uh, I wish I knew I could do it more often. No, I think, you're getting into, you bowled 5, 6 weeks, throwing some practice in, and you're getting into form now. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have realistic expectations that I'm going to do that every week, but it's good when it happens.
Yeah, absolutely. We certainly appreciate it. I mean, we're all on the same team, by God. Let's talk about your bowling story. We got to get into kind of the how, the when, and the where you got started. Now, you're originally from Indiana.
Correct.
So tell me about that. Where did you end up getting started in the sport of bowling?
I got started as a junior at Claremont Lanes in a little town called Claremont, Indiana. I grew up in Speedway. I would always go watch my parents. I'd watch mom and dad, and of course, they don't want you around, so they give you quarters to go play the video machines, and just watching them. And then I wanted to do it, so they got me started as a junior bowler. So I bowled, pretty much from about 8th grade through my senior year of high school. We didn't have high school bowling then, though.
Okay. Tell me about that junior program. What was it like? I mean, were there a lot of kids doing it?
Oh yeah, it was I believe it was a 12-lane house, and we had 8 to 10 teams in there every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. I think it was. It was kind of early for a Saturday when you're in school all year. And but yeah, then they started a traveling league, and I was on that, and did some tournaments and had fun. It was never. It was more for fun back then. It was it was just to it was something to do.
Yeah. Could you feel yourself kind of getting a little better, getting into the swing of things as you went, year by year and into those external things like traveling leagues and tournaments?
Oh yeah, Jerry, the owner of the bowling alley, he would work with you, and he had another guy, whose name I can't remember, unfortunately. They would work with us, and you could see what your average is. You're starting off pretty bad, then you're feeling like you're pretty good. You're at a 160, 170, and but as a junior bowler, it's about as high as I got.
Yeah.
It was just bowling once a week. There was no practice involved. It was go on Saturdays, and every now and then you practice, but not a lot.
Sure. Was there something about the sport that kind of hooked you?
Friends.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
Common interests.
Sure. Absolutely. It's kind of still how it is for me today. Mm-hmm. When you're in juniors, when I'm in juniors, when anybody's in juniors, you're kind of dependent on your parents to give you the access, the rides to the center, maybe even give you the guidance to help grow your game. How did your folks, help with your both introduction into bowling and then, kind of helping you grow into the game?
Oh, they were great. They would get up, they would take us. They made sure we had the right equipment that we needed. It's my brother. He's 11 months younger than me. We bowled together. They made sure we had what we needed, got us there, and the money to bowl at times too, and everything. They were a huge part of it.
Yeah. You mentioned there wasn't high school bowling. So at some point after high school, you go into the military and you stop bowling. Of course, service is awesome. Really appreciate what you did there for country. But tell me about, kind of quitting the game, and, did you miss it along the way?
Yeah, because you would see this, some of the, I was young. I was stationed in Hawaii. There were things to do, and some of the married guys, they were all going out bowling and doing that and doing things like that. But the single guys, we were going to the clubs. So there wasn't a lot of that. And yeah, I missed it. And then when I got out, I lived in Sparta, and my wife and I, we got married right after I got out. And so I started bowling again, and I bowled again there. And then, I bowled for about 4 or 5 years, and then job opportunities came along and put me on the road. So then I ended up stopped again. And that time I stopped for almost 20 years. And, but I was carrying a high 190s, low 2s then. And then, you got to provide for the family. So I was on the road. I was on the road a lot in sales. And, so I was out for almost 20 years, and then I came back about 7 years ago.
Okay. 20 years, things change about the sport. Equipment changes. Tell me about, kind of getting into the more modern equipment when you got back into it.
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought I had, I thought I had good equipment. I show up at the bowling alley, and I didn't even open my bowling bag until I got there. I have two bowling balls. It was the red and the blue hammer. I open up the red hammer, and from the middle finger to the thumb hole, huge crack. And then I start throwing the blue hammer, and it's like, they're not wood lanes anymore. They're synthetic. The oil patterns are different. So I just made a decision right then to walk into the pro shop and drop several $100 on new balls, new shoes, new bag, new everything.
Yeah, get it done like that. How about the layoff? I mean, is it something where you really had to work at getting the mechanics back, or did you feel like it was kind of like riding a bike?
Well, I think the first year when I came back, I was probably averaging in the 180s. I wasn't sure, is this just going to be a 1 year thing or what's going on? And then, I realized how much I loved it and I wanted to keep going. And so, so then, you throw some practice in, you talk to the guys who've been around the sport, who know it and who know where you're at, and they help guide you in the right direction for better equipment, for using the right ball in the right house with the different shots that they have. And so, Jerry in town was great.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a great, not only pro shop operator, but great knowledge of the game and someone to really kind of set you on the right course for success. So tell me about some of the people other than Jerry that you maybe teamed up with or gravitated toward when you started back up here in the Eau Claire area.
Well, when I started back up, I worked with Olga Grabara, and it was her husband, Max, that was, hey, come on, you got to come bowl. And they asked me to bowl in I think it was a Friday night league to start, and I just couldn't swing it. And then the next year he asked me, well, hey, we're going to get, on a men's team. They had somebody that wasn't going to be on their team anymore. So I said, sure, what the heck. Yeah. So I started up, and, really it was Max that pushed me to get back into it. And, I'm thankful because I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me what it's like to bowl on a team nowadays. I mean, you're kind of in a different place now, I'm assuming, than you were back the second time when you came back to it, or even back in juniors. More knowledge of the game, different equipment, different company.
Yeah, it's when I first came back, we bowled to drink. Then it was a big card game afterwards when I was in Sparta. Now you bowl, you drink, you have fun, but it's knowing the differences in what's happening now and how to react. And, the big issue I face is making the right adjustments at the right time. I'm always thinking, it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. No, I need to move. I need to make an adjustment. And so still learning, you're always still learning, but
yeah.
If I could only bowl Sam Lofquist every day, it'd be great.
I don't know if I want to go that route, but you can. be my guest. Would you say that, over time you've kind of gotten back to that level where you left off, or even exceeded where you left off those last?
I think I've exceeded it, for sure. Just in, I'd say the discipline to care. Before it was, we're just there to have a good time, and now it's, I care what I shoot. I don't get upset or beat myself up when I have a bad game, because it's going to happen. But I really want to try to do well.
Yeah.
Leagues really, it's, you're setting the foundation for all your tournaments that you want to get into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Talking about doing well, you've had some success over the past few years. I want to talk about your first honor score. I like to call it your first and not your only, because I know there's going to be more. But this is from October of 2019. And this is when you shot 300 at Wagner's. Tell me what you remember about this.
I remember that right after I released it, I bent over because I missed inside by about a board or two, and I thought it was going to come through the nose. Yeah, just like that.
Just
And
like
it
that.
helped. And
But
then I
it's
snapped this lady's hand really hard.
yeah, you even said there you were inside, you were worried. But yeah, you were able to snap out the 10. And, I mean, were you nervous heading up there for that 12th shot?
I was. And I mean, not like I thought I would be when it came to doing that in league. But yeah, it was stress, but I just tried telling myself after the 10th and the 11th, just do what you do every time. You've got your system, just do it the same. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
Yeah.
So
That's a big thing in bowling, not to overthink things, though, because there's so many things to think about, right?
right. And the irony was you and Jim were on that team too.
Mm-hmm. We were really excited to see that happen right there when we were all there to see it.
Yep.
So then a month later, we talk about that tournament at Falls Bowl, where you end up throwing what I've called, the strike herd round Chippewa. And it's Chippewa, not.
You didn't videotape that, did you? Oh no.
I did. Yeah. Why not? This is a huge moment, right?
No.
No?
No, it was a horrible shot. Well, it was a sport pattern, and after bowling on a house shot, and I had no idea where to set up.
Yeah.
I knew because Pat and Sam I knew they were already laughing and yelling at me, and so
yeah,
yeah, that was an ugly shot.
Yeah,
but it made a few $100.
Right. So then you got to get up there and do it again, right?
Right, and then I throw an equally badge. I don't remember what I threw on this one. I just know it wasn't a strike because it would have been a couple hundred more.
It looked like you moved a little bit, but it kind of ended up in about the same place.
Yeah, I got her too far out.
Yeah. But I mean, that happens, that kind of thing happens. And, but what a great moment though, to throw it essentially in the 3-6 pocket and trip everything out.
Yeah. Yeah. It made it better when, and I got about $170 extra for that than what I would have got.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I did ask Sam about that. He said that all he did was demonstrate 10% of his true power in hitting the 3-6 pocket instead of the traditional way.
Yeah.
Did the crowd get cheated there? They didn't see, the full power of of what you were capable of?
No, it's I'm capable of better if if you know the shot. That's just it. You have no practice. You have nothing. It's a sport shot. You just threw how many games on a house pattern, and had I thought about it, I'd have grabbed my more aggressive ball. I was like, hey, they drew my number. Cool, I get to do it. I got $175 or $150, and if I strike, it's $320. And so I just went up and Sam did warn me, hey, it's a sport shot, adjust a little. So I moved a couple boards. I needed to move a lot more.
Hey, how do you really know though? I mean, it's a guess.
Right.
Yeah.
If I went back there and they did it again, I would know to move because
yeah.
But I had no idea what the shot would be.
Right. Yeah. It's funny that we're talking about this shot that didn't end up in the right spot and you ended up carrying, because I asked Max about you and he told me about how much he says that you carry on the lanes. He told me that they call you Horseshoe Phillips because you're one of the luckiest SOBs he knows. He says you make people around you lucky when you're close enough as well. He says you're lucky in bowling and carry stuff that you shouldn't, but on the flip side, you throw more pocket 7-10s than anybody he knows. Now, I've had that said about me before, but it all kind of balances out, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. There was a streak at I bet it was 4 or 5 weeks in a row I left the pocket. I mean, the pocket it's subjective. You hit between the 1 and the 3, and you leave a 7-10. So obviously it's light, but it's probably driving kind of hard to push everything around the 7 and the 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Yeah, I did that a few weeks in a row, but the horseshoe part probably comes more from our trips to Vegas and Reno.
No, it's funny because I when I was talking to Sam, I showed him the 2 videos. I sent him over his way, and I thought it was funny that he picked this out. He said that he noticed that your shirt was the same shirt.
Sure, I did too once you did that.
Yeah, and so he told me that you should try wearing the same clothes again to get that magic back this season.
Okay, I'll do it on Thursday.
Whatever works, right?
Yep.
No, I thought that was a funny coincidence because I didn't really notice that until until you let me know.
Well, the irony was I was in my closet. What shirt should I wear for this? And I started to grab that one. I said, no, he'll probably show the game I threw my 300 in. So I didn't put that shirt on.
It's probably a good thing. Before the pandemic started, we were planning on bowling the Open Championships. And of course, COVID happens, it gets canceled, move back, all that stuff. But you've competed several years at Nationals. Tell me about that tournament and what keeps you coming back.
I just love the experience. I don't have expectations of doing well. I mean, like some of the big shooters, but it's just an opportunity that you get to compete against really the best of the best. You have a chance, and if you have the shot that day and you're consistent and you don't leak everything right, like I have a tendency to do once in a while, because it doesn't come back out there, and you have a chance to shoot some good scores, and I've not a ton, but I've made a little money in brackets on occasion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you talk about competing against the best of the best, which is, of course, exactly what happens at Nationals. Mm-hmm. Are there any of those guys, those pros that maybe you see on TV that, maybe have influenced your game or that you really look up to, when you're thinking about bowling?
Marshall Holman, for sure. He was probably my childhood idol that I always would watch. Yeah, him. Loved. I mean, every Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it was when I was a kid, when it was on, I'd have to watch, hoping that he was there. And then, of course, you had Weber, you had Guppy. So,
yeah,
but those are the ones that come to mind right away.
Yeah, you like the guys with the personality. It sounds like.
Yeah,
because they were the cream of the crop. Those 3.
Well, not the cream of the crop, but we still bowl with personality. We still have Jim.
There it is. Keeps things interesting, right?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
You were talking about Max, and he's got some more stuff to say. But I also got in touch with Ray, and Ray says that you're one of those competitors that is going to push you to show up. I love that he used the expression "show up," all while making you laugh at something silly that you're saying or doing. He says that he can look forward to being harassed by you when he's late showing up, or even when he gets there on time, the few times that happens. Would we all be better bowlers, or even just better at enjoying the game if we did more to kind of keep it light like that?
That's the only way I know how to live life. You can't take anything too serious. And yeah, my joking sometimes has gotten me in some awkward positions, but you got to keep it light. And that's, he's always, Ray pushes the boundaries of time, and I like to give him a little crap on it.
At least he owns it though, right?
Even this Saturday at the Shatek tournament.
Oh yeah. Wow. Was he on your team?
No, he was on a different pair, but there's only 6 lanes, so you got to wait for everybody to get there, and
when somebody's late,
Yep.
Yeah. You mentioned the brackets. Max said that you're clutch at state and you win a lot of brackets. I mean, that's a great way to be. You shot the state tournament last year, cashed in handicap singles in a crazy year where some of us opted out. What was that tournament like for you?
It was fun. I had aside from my first game, I had a really good tournament, and just I never bowled there, and that's part of the thing with state too. Is I get to bowl places I've never bowled before, and to experience new houses, new people, new shots, and just try to see what you can do.
Yeah. Do you think you were better at Bolero or at Village?
Let's see. Bolero was the first day. Village. Yeah, it took me a minute at Bolero. My first game was, I think I averaged 223 for all 9 games, and my first game I think was like a 150 at Bolero. It took me a minute to find the shot, but then once I did, the second 2 games I made, the second and third game, I made up for it, and then I had a good doubles and singles event.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping it'll come back to Milwaukee at some point soon, because those are 2 houses that I know very well, and would have loved the opportunity to compete there alongside you at both of those places. Max also said that when it comes down to it, he says that you're going to give 100% on the lanes, and again, can count on you to come through in the clutch, and that you're a great friend and teammate. What does that mean to? I know everybody assumes that because we're on teams together, but to hear somebody come out and say, "Hey, this guy is a great teammate," what does that mean to you?
I guess I got to go get a Kleenex. No, it's nice. It's nice to hear. I try to always give 100%. There's times when you can say, hell with it, and just do whatever. But I don't like to do that. I like to, even if it's only salvaging a barely average game, I want to do it. I want to try to throw the best I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about this season. How often are you bowling, leagues, tournaments? You mentioned Chautauqua this past weekend.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, but bowling 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, both at Wagner's, subbing on Wednesdays occasionally at Bullwinkle's.
Okay.
So last year I bowled 2 days in a row, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 nights in a row was, I have bad knees, so it wasn't great. So Tuesday, Thursday gives me a day off, and then a couple times bowling 3 nights in a row, but knees are better this year than they were last year. So we're going to keep going.
Sure. That always helps. How about moving forward? Do you plan to go to nationals again later this year and state and all that good stuff?
Yeah. We were just talking about it this weekend. Hopefully, if we can get 10 guys, we are guys and gals, we want to do it. If not, the first time I went with Max, we just hooked up with some guys from Oshkosh. They needed 2 guys and picked us up, and we bowled with them. And I wish I could remember their names. One guy, they owned a house out there, and he's actually won singles before.
Wow.
And so long time ago, but
still, Max
could tell you their names. I'm horrible with names. I can remember faces though.
Yeah. Maybe if he's on watching, he'll comment with it. How about the Eau Claire bowling scene? You've been in other communities, you've seen what it's like, and a lot of our viewers are from places outside of Eau Claire. If you had to describe it to somebody, what's it like and what makes it special here?
Boy, that's a tough one. I think it's enjoyable.
You should say that it's the only place where you can bowl, near me, right?
Exactly. I can't. If I want to bowl with Andrew and with Jim, I got to bowl here, and Max. No, I enjoy it. There's a lot of fun people. It doesn't matter who you're bowling. I think it's my 6th or 7th year. I don't remember when I started back again exactly. But you know everybody, and it's Tuesday nights. You're going to bowl, but you're going to hang out with friends. Mm-hmm. You're going to have some good conversations, and I love the fact that I'm a social kind of guy, and I can go and hang out with friends, do some bowling, have some fun, have a beer afterwards.
I wanted to try and sneak that in there.
Yeah, I don't even remember you taking that.
And what's Jim doing?
He's doing pull tabs.
Oh, okay.
I would bet.
Or on his phone, playing that game.
Oh, he's playing a video game.
But
yeah, it's great. We're a town of 55,000. We've got two houses, and they're different shots, but they're good. You could bowl at either one and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and others not too far away in Chippewa and other surrounding communities too. Yeah. No, it's it's great. I love this community, and I've been in bowling communities big and small. So to be here, like you said, with good friends and a challenge now and then, can't be beat, I think. Yeah, so you've seen this show before, and you know how we go off the sheet. And that's when we ask you to challenge somebody else, and skill level is kind of out the window. I mean, we look for people who are passionate about the sport and have a unique story to tell, which, let's face it, we all do. So, Mike Phillips, who would you like to challenge to be on a future episode of Bowling with the Fef?
Well, you're asking people about quotes for me, so I would... Jim's already been on it. Sam been on it? Yeah, Sam's been on it. So I guess that leaves Max.
And why
and
Max?
Ray.
Max and Ray. Okay, why those two?
Yeah. I think they'd be good, but I think you'd also somebody like Jerry, who he runs the pro shop. He's been in the scene for a long time at both houses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fantastic bowler, fantastic coach, and great ball driller. Hey, any of the three, I would be honored to have them on this show. So, Ray, Max, Jerry, if you're up for Mike's challenge, let me know. You can email me at bowlingwiththefef@yahoo.com or direct message me on Facebook. Our next live stream is coming up a week from tonight, Monday, October 25th, 6 p.m. Central. And we actually have another Mike coming on. You might know him as Big Mike from Sweep the Rack. There he is in all his glory. He's coming on. We had Rob from Sweep the Rack on several weeks ago. Had a lot to say about Mike. Bill O'Neill had some to say about Mike. Those three are good buddies. And now I guess we're doing the trifecta here, having Big Mike on the show coming up next week. Mike Phillips, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it. Had fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Until then, we hope you have a great week, great bowling, and we will see you next time.